Today, we're going to be talking about games with Kickstarter that I've had the pleasure to work with. Day of Dragons 1.0 release is only weeks away. It is arguably the most successful game ever to come from Kickstarter. Yet, people still seem to call it a scam. As those of us that play the game regularly, I can tell you that it's not a scam. Recently, Be Awesome released Legacy. If you haven't changed to it, I would highly recommend you do so. By doing so, you'll be able to unlock Shimmer, seen here, as well as Jellyfish, if you type in /Pearl on or /Pearl off. Remember, you will need to be laying or sleeping for this to work. The next game that we're going to discuss is The Hunted. So many of you have asked for more information on this game ever since I showcased it. However, the studio has been quite quiet as of late. I did, however, receive this clip from the developer. They're actively doing a Kickstarter as I speak, so if you don't want to possibly miss out on some future game benefits, you may want to check it out. I would never tell anybody to invest in anything, especially as far as animal survival games, as they are very risky. But if you feel everything is on the up and up, maybe you take that chance. I have included a link to their Kickstarter in the description. If you like this video, click that like button so I know to make more content for you. Feel free to click the subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. Finally, we have Untamed. I was able to speak with Milo, the creator of Untamed, and this is what he had to say.
You had to be freaking out when you watched your Kickstarter going off, huh?
It just doesn't feel real. Nothing feels real right now, which is pretty wild. It's been honestly amazing the amount of support that we've gotten. I'm blown away. I don't have words. I don't even know what to say about it. It's incredible.
What do you plan on using the money for exactly?
Well, we had a list going on the Kickstarter about all of the things that we wanted to get done and into the game. And so far for the list, we've gotten funding for the Ankylosaur to be finished, the Venari to be finished, the Cervatopsian to be finished, as well as persistent servers, collision between players, scent mechanic and footsteps, minimap customization, HUD customization, persistent characters on servers, location-based damage, 2 AI for hunting, the soundtrack, multiple character profiles on specific servers, character customization on the character selection screen before you go into a server, grouping, and the combat and logout timer is what we have specific funding for today. But that doesn't include hiring more artists to help do concept art for the environments and for the landscape and also for creature designs, because right now I've been the only person working on creature designs, but I really want to bring in more artists to get more creativity flowing, so I'm really excited to actually bring in more artists to work on stuff.
Since last time I spoke with you, you've done a bunch of updates to the demo. What exactly have you all changed?
Well, we've added a whole slew of bug fixes. People have been fantastic at reporting bugs and really actually helpful with telling us how to get the bugs to happen so that we could actually go in and fix them. And then we also did some improvements to the Lazard textures, a couple improvements to the sounds. We redid the broadcast sound for the Lazard, and added some variation to all the calls so they don't just sound exactly the same. We added a couple more map details, like some mushrooms and some ground cover. We increased the player slots to 12 instead of 6. We added an optional server password protect, a server PvP switch, and the ability to ban people from your server if you want to, because we had a couple issues with that. But it's okay. It was free beta testing, to be honest. And then today we're actually going to be putting out another update to the demo, which is going to include some more bug fixes and also a control panel for server owners to change the time of day and the weather that's going on in their server.
That sounds awesome.
Thank you.
I really like the idea that the server owners will be able to adjust things like that. You're doing all this in the demo?
Yeah.
How long do you plan on having the demo out?
Well, we were originally going to stop having it be up at the end of the Kickstarter, but people have been like enjoying it and playing it, and I don't want to take that away from them. So we're probably going to be leaving it up at least until we have the early access version ready to go. But depending on how things go, we might just leave it up indefinitely. But that is up for that is subject to change, so we'll see.
How many animals do you actually plan on having in this game?
Well, right now we have like concept art for I think 8 or 9, but ideally at the very end of it, I'd really like to have somewhere around 20, if not a little more than that. We'll just kind of have to see how things go with like concept art and what kind of play styles need to be added in, and like if there's a hole in the roster, we'll have to figure out a way to fill it. But yeah, we don't have like a ton of designs up right now because like eight's not very many, but we do want to add a lot more.
Now, as far as AI is concerned, do you have plans for quite a bit of AI in the game?
Oh yeah, we have plans for a couple small like huntable AI that players can go after, which right now we have the funding for that, so they will definitely be in the early access version of the game. And then we also have plans for uh, like AI versions of the playable creatures that can be interacted with in various ways, either fought with and killed, or stolen from, or potentially befriended. But that's some things that are going to have to wait till a little bit later because we don't quite have funding for those yet. But we do have plans for them. And then I also have some ideas for some other AI to put in the game that won't be fightable or eatable, but will just kind of like wander around the map and be something that's potentially interesting to interact with. And then we also have plans for larger AI bosses that like people that are on the server can fight and potentially get little prizes from and stuff.
So then, as far as what people are supposed to do, will there be a story, or are you going to have different things that you're going to be required to do? What's the actual goal of the game?
The overall goal of the game would just be to like survive, grow, make friends, have a little territory. But what we also want to do is add in a lot of environmental storytelling and add a lot of into the environment so that if a person wants to, they can just go through the environment and explore and kind of learn about the story of like why the world ended up this way. Why is there ruins everywhere? What happened to these races that are now extinct? Like what did they do? We have plans for that. And then we also have plans for things like jumping puzzles and ruined mazes that can be like explored and whatnot. Um and yeah, that's kind of the plan right now.
I want to thank Milo for that amazing interview. I do have plans to have discussions with the developers of Day of Dragons in the near future, and I'm sure we will be hearing from the developers of The Hunted. I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, later players.